there, how's it going? It's Melissa Benaroya with Childproof Parenting Live, and I'm excited you're here today because we are going to talk about the reasons that you are not alone. I've seen a lot of people talking recently online about the struggles in parenting, and actually yesterday a friend of mine had posted something on Facebook about how challenging parenting is, and there was friend of hers who's a single gentleman who said, like, are you kidding? I've not heard this before. All the other parents I know have never said anything like this. And I appreciated her honesty. And I just don't think enough of us are really forthcoming in what's really going on and how we're really feeling. And I am lucky enough that I get to hear all of this from you. I get emails daily from parents sharing with me their struggles and asking me questions and asking for help. So I wanted to share with you today why you're not alone. And I'm going to share with you a few of the things that I got this week, and then how I'm going to be able to help them and also you as well, and what I'm going to do for you as well. But I'm going to hold off and share that till the very end. So I'm going to share some of the things that I got this week, just so you know. And I always say to parents, you are not alone. You're not the only one. Trust me. Well, that's nice to hear, and I'm sure it's validating, but you probably want to hear what people are really saying to me. So I just pulled a few things from a few emails this week, and I wanted to share. So first, Mary said, I have 3 kiddos, 5, 4, and 1.5. They keep me busy, but I'm crazy about all of them for sure. She said, right now, my biggest challenge as a parent is not knowing what to say to my kids. I get flustered while trying to correct them and either over-explain or beat a dead horse, or beat the issue to death. I stumble over my words and I feel stupid, which makes me angry and yell. It's not a fun cycle. If I could get better at this, I think it would help a lot. Thanks a lot. Have an awesome day. So anybody else feel that way? Anybody feel like in the moment they don't know what to say or do, that they're flustered, and in that confusion and feeling flustered, they react? They yell, they say things and do things they don't really feel great about. So I have an answer to that, but I'm going to hold off. Also going to share what Morgan sent me. She said, my biggest parenting challenge is knowing what to say or do. Very similar. I have yelled and threatened with timeouts because that's all I know. It is what my parents did, so it's what I do. I know these techniques did not work well with me, and I'm struggling with my almost 3-year-old. I also have trouble not yelling since my toddler is whiny. So once again, not knowing what to say or do and feeling like the only response is yelling or timeout. So once again, you are not alone. I have a few more. So another email I got this week said, I have a 3-year-old boy and a 2-year-old girl. My biggest struggle right now with them is keeping them from fighting over anything and everything, which usually ends with everybody raising their voices, including me. I honestly believe it's hurting their emotional development because there are lots of tears. When one child is with the grandparents and I keep the other child, they're very different children. Anybody have that experience where your kids are home with you? They act very different than when they're at school or in somebody else's care. Sounds like this is the case. They listen better, they whine less, they smile and they laugh more. No one's hitting anyone, and mommy is a lot calmer. So she's saying when she has kids one-on-one, different child. Is there any way to have that level of peace when the two of them are together? I hope these strategies can help us. It's honestly hard for me to stay calm when my kids fight, scream, and take toys from one another. So Angie, you're not alone. Megan, what is challenging for me as a parent? Megan says, my 3-year-old daughter who whines and cries and defies me at the drop of a hat for no apparent reason. It's almost like a switch goes off and she decides she wants to misbehave. Trust me, she's not making this choice. This is her job at 3 years old. This is what kids do. This is part of the growing process. Megan says, no amount of love and logic will help her change her mind. And our job's not to change their mind, but it is to change our behavior so that in response they change their behavior. She couldn't care less about getting a consequence. I keep my cool for as long as I can, and then she will finally, quote unquote, hear me and start behaving once I yell. So frustrating. Common theme here, everybody feels like they get to a place where they have to yell, and it doesn't sound like anybody's loving this. I've got two more. One from Kim. Kim says, honestly, my biggest challenge right now is finding time for quote unquote all the things. She has a 6-year-old, almost 7-year-old, and a very energetic 5-year-old son who wants her attention 24/7. And while her kiddos are obviously number one in her life and always will be, she says, as you know, there are other things that require my attention as well, like my husband, my part-time job, household duties, etc. Her husband works full times and then school, and they have a very busy schedule. She supports him 110% with his work and his school because she knows the payoff in the end will be great for her family. But right now, at this point in time, Kim says it's just so hard on all of us. And I feel like there's just not enough hours in the day to take care of all the quote unquote things. Okay, she's done with her pity party. Thanks for listening. Would love some reaction. So I'm going to stop right there really quick. I have one more thing I'm going to share with you from a dad. But what I want to say is you're not alone. Okay, we're all having the same experience, even me. I've been working on my parenting for a very long time. I help hundreds and thousands of other families with their challenge, but I still have these same challenges with my kids. I have normal kids. They're doing what they're supposed to do, and part of their job and their challenge is figuring out the world, figuring out what's appropriate, figuring out how to express themselves emotionally, figuring out what's appropriate behavior in different situations. So this is all normal. It's all challenging. It's what we signed up for. So what I'm going to do for all of those who have written to me and you here today is I am going to invite you to my parenting boot camp this fall. And it is absolutely free because I keep getting emails and requests to help me solve this problem. And I'm not going to solve this problem for you, but I can help you build the tools and the skills and the strategies to reverse these challenges at home, or at least feel like you have the tools and the confidence to manage it. Because it's not all going to go away. There's definitely ways that we can avoid these challenges, which obviously is ideal, but you can have tools and strategies to manage it. So I am launching on September 11th a back to school boot camp. And if your kids aren't going back to school, because I know many of you are watching from around the world, it doesn't matter. I chose this time just because many parents in the US have kids back to school and have a little bit of window of time to focus on their parenting. And many of us over the summer kind of let things go a little bit. And it's nice to tighten things up, revisit, work on some of these skills. So I will include a link below to sign up for this free back to school parenting boot camp. I would love for you to join us. There is limited space. I do have to cut it off, but since you're here now, you have the opportunity to get in, and I'm not worried about you if you're watching today or anytime soon, and most people are going to be watching over the next week, so I think you should be fine. So go ahead and click on the link below. It's not there right now, but I will make sure I put it there after this Facebook Live. Now I have one other thing I wanted to share with you and I wanted to respond to because I think it's really important, and I think Jared had a lot of courage to write to me and share his thoughts. So I had the privilege of sharing some back to school tips on TV this week at a local news station. And Jared apparently was watching, and he wrote to me after and he said, "It's difficult to sit and watch your stories and interviews like the one you did on Q13 Fox in Seattle with things like, quote unquote, don't let all the stress fall on mom. Where and when do you talk about dads and the stress fathers are taking on in the roles of raising their children? I get frustrated with this arena of professionals suggesting that everything falls on the mom. Dads are taking on more and more roles than ever before, yet no recognition is given to their role in the home of raising their children. You should spend some time and energy showing the roles of fathers are changing in the home. Our roles are important." And you know what I'm saying to you, Jared? Hell yeah. I absolutely agree with you. And I'm so glad that you feel passionate, and I'm so glad that you reached out to me. And that is why I have chosen to focus all of my programs on moms and dads, and not just moms. And I was a very mom-focused educator and therapist and coach before, and my signature course was called Mommy Matters. And I did get a lot of feedback that dads wanted this too. And that's how I created the Childproof Parenting course with my partner, Robin Dowdy. So we created this course for both parents. And you don't have to have a partner of the opposite sex. You can be a single parent. You can be parenting with your parent. You can parent with your nanny. It doesn't matter. I want all people that are supporting children and raising children to have tools and skills. And I am sorry that a lot of the language is geared towards moms. And the fact of the matter is, majority of people staying home is moms. It is definitely changing. And I think we see that. I'm assuming, Jared, you probably live in the Seattle area. That is a huge shift in our community. It's not the case all over the world, but I definitely see it changing here in Seattle, and I'm really excited about it. And I want to do everything I can to support dads. And the programs that I create are also an opportunity to help align parents in their parenting. One of the biggest challenges in the parents that I work with in my private practice is they're not on the same page. That they both love their kids, they're both committed to their kids, but they were raised in different homes with different philosophies and strategies, and we tend to replicate the way we were raised. So I think engaging in this content with your partner is going to be really powerful. And I encourage those of you that are moms to bring your partner into the conversation. That if you sign up for boot camp, sign your partner up too. Do this together. Now, you can't make your partner do that. Obviously, we can influence them and encourage them, just like our children. We can't make them be a certain way. But what I will say is, even if you're the parent that is choosing to invest in your parenting and make changes, you're going to be modeling this for the other parent in your home or the other parents in your family. So just be mindful that even if you feel like you're the only one around your children doing these things, you are a huge influence, and you're not only influencing your children, but the adults around your children as well. So once again, I want to just mention that I am going to be offering a free parenting boot camp. It's called Back to School Boot Camp. You don't have to have kids going back to school, but I thought it'd be a great opportunity, a great window of time to engage parents, since many parents have had kids home all summer and are exhausted and kind of let things go a little bit. This is a great time to just clean things up, to gain some new skills, to reinforce the things that were working before that you forgot about. So I will link to that. It's a free boot camp. There's limited space. I hope you will join me. So once again, today's theme is you are not alone. So please don't feel like what you are experiencing is out of the ordinary, only your child, only happening to you, because I shared with you a few of the emails I got this week, but I hear the same things over and over again. And your child is unique and your family is unique, but these challenges are the same. So I want you to know, I want you to take a deep breath and just realize that people are going through these challenges, and there are ways to make change in your parenting, in your child's behavior, and the relationship you have with your child. And that is my ultimate goal, is to create relationships between for joining me today. I'm so glad that you showed up. And if you have questions or comments, please leave them below. And like I said before, I will post that link for you to join me September 11th in the Back to School Parenting Bootcamp. Have a fabulous week, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye.